fuck a little friend of a friend. All through say I'm tryna fuck. Dick jammed up, think I'm out of luck. Went home, then roll me a blunt. That hurt my feelings, I'm not gonna front. Welcome to the video. I was watching the video again and I figured I should record. It's crazy. Yeah, I really like. And I'm watching the Jimmy nigga that I was talking about last video. Jimmy High Roller, that's his name. I don't know why I'm not subscribed. But I be watching his videos. He be talking. He be spitting. But basically, just catch you up. Basically, we're talking about how Luka. He's talking about how Luka. You know how Luka's stats is unreal. It's like 30. He's averaging 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 10 assists. And he's fourth when it comes to MVP, the MVP ranking or whatever. You know how crazy that is? But nobody's averaging as many points as he's averaging, as many. His stat line is just absurd. And then they showed they showed the ranking, right? And as they were showing the rankings, everybody had descriptions below the rankings, basically explaining why they're where they're at. And his explanation was, they were like, "Oh, I understand he's averaging 25 plus points for the last 30 fucking games, but his standings is his team standing is like, you know, kind of low. He's still in playing, and they're like, he has to win more. Like, it's more than just flashy numbers. You got to win too. So he has to win more in order to. He has to get out the play-in tournament in order to be number one or whatever the fuck they said, right? But you know my nigga Jimmy High Roller said? He said, in past years, there's been players who averaged less than him, who had the same amount of wins as he did, and they won the MVP. Yo, and that's when this ad popped up. You know, I never explained something that good a day in my fucking life. I don't know what the fuck. If you listen to that, comment I did down in the comment section. Cause if you a real nigga, you gonna tell me if you listen to that or not. MP. But let's get into the video. I don't want to talk your ears off.
Tournament time is officially here, so fill out your brackets and place your bets on who you think will rise to the top with my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. Right? Use your 50 DraftKings. 21 years old. Second season, his 29th, all the assumptions. When Luka Doncic first entered the league in 2018, he immediately leapfrogged all the assumptions we had about his game and his potential. By his second season, his 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists a game earned him first-team All-NBA and a 4th place finish in the MVP voting at just 21 years old. By the end of his second season, the general perception was that this guy was the future of the NBA. An MVP award was inevitable, and it would happen sooner than later. But Luka is now in his 6th season in the league, and despite getting better nearly every single season, his place on the MVP leaderboard has only fallen virtually every season. Voters seeming to become less and less interested in the—
Oh my gosh. That's insanity, bro. Bro, 21, 76, and then 28, 9, and 8. What? Oh my god, 27, 8, and 8. His second year was better. Then his 4th year was the same as his second year. His 5th year got better with the scoring, but everything else lowered. And then this year, 34, 9, and I'm like, damn, this is his best season yet. But this might be the best stat line anybody has ever seen. I don't know if I've seen a stat line like this. I mean, I haven't seen one. I'm talking about me. But I don't know. This stat line is crazy, bro. Somebody gotta put him. Like, I don't get why he's not in the GOAT conversation. You're 6 and he's doing this, bro. Like, I don't get, like, Luka. I'm sorry, he might even be a little better than. I don't know. His numbers, though. But he's not winning, so he can't. I'm about to say Steph, but he's not winning, so it doesn't. All these numbers, you guys are right. Yeah, they're right a little bit. All these numbers don't fucking matter because he's not winning. He's year 6, and guys don't win like LeBron said. Guys don't year until after like year 5 or something. So I think he got next year. If he has to win next year, and if he don't win next year, people gonna question and shit. But I see why, because he hasn't really did shit. I mean, he hasn't done nothing. He just has flashy numbers. He has to do something. I feel it.
This Luka magic.
But these numbers are insane. Like, this is like best player in NBA history type numbers. I'm not going to.
How did Luka's best case for the most valuable player in the NBA come in just his 2nd season and has only gone downhill since? Are we looking at the MVP award all wrong? Is it even possible for someone to be the most valuable player in the NBA while not elevating their team to a title contender? A question not applying to just Luka, but to any player in general. Where exactly is the balance between individual dominance and team success when evaluating the top talents in the NBA? If the Nuggets ran into some injuries and had a tough stretch of games and somehow fell to the 7th seed, would we be willing to admit that Nikola Jokic is still the best and most valuable player in the league despite the lack of team success? Is it possible to get voter fatigue or even player fatigue before a player has even won anything? Here's a number for you, 41.8. This is the number you get if you combine the average points, rebounds, and assists per game of every MVP winner over the last 30 years. This season, Luka is averaging 53.2 combined points, rebounds, and assists, the highest combined total since Kareem over 50 years ago in 1972. And putting up numbers like this usually results in winning games and winning an MVP. Most of the players near the top of this list have earned the award for their efforts. Kareem missed out on the award in 1973, but he already won back-to-back MVPs in the previous 2 seasons. James Harden came in 2nd in 2019, but he already won the award in the previous season as well. Luka, on the other hand, seems to be suffering from a rare case of voter fatigue before winning any awards. Raising the bar to first-team All-NBA in just your sophomore season means every year after that must be even better if you really want to captivate an audience. And Luka has gotten better every single season. So maybe he's just not winning enough games. The unwritten rule about the MVP award has always been that you not only need to be great, but your team needs to be great. But this isn't always the case. In fact, recently, it's hardly the case, and voters have not shied away from rewarding exceptional seasons, even if it didn't result in overall team success. In 1987, after just over 2 seasons in the league, Michael Jordan finished 2nd in MVP voting ahead of generational talents and vets of the 80s, despite closing the season with a record below 500 and finishing the season on a stretch of 15 losses in 23 games. He was young, he was unproven, and yet voters were still so enamored by his individual dominance that they just looked past the lack of team success. One argument you can make for this season is the fact that it happened nearly 40 years ago in a league where numbers like this were unheard of. But a similar case of crazy numbers and individual performance outweighing overall team performance just happened again a couple seasons ago. In 2022, Nikola Jokic won the league MVP after finishing the season with just 48 wins and the 6th seed in the West. His numbers were incredible, and his advanced metrics were even better. In fact, he was so good that the lackluster 48-win total was a bit of an afterthought for many voters. The only thing is, this season, the Mavericks are on pace to winning 48 games as well. And as loaded as Jokic's stat line was in that 2022 MVP campaign, Luka's numbers are just about as good this season. So how does one of these seasons earn a player his 2nd consecutive MVP, and the other hardly even earn a player a spot on the MVP leaderboard? But I think the most glaring case of a player winning over voters with a historic individual season was back in 2017, when Russell Westbrook lit the whole league on fire for 81 games and averaged a 30-point triple-double for an entire season. This was just 7 years ago, and it's already easy to forget just how inconceivable this was at the time. There is not a person on earth who thought a player could average a triple-double for an entire season. So when Westbrook pulled it off, the MVP award had his name on it, and rightfully so. But the Thunder finished with the 6th seed and just 47 wins. In fact, James Harden and Kawhi Leonard both had strong cases to be the most valuable player in the league that season. So again, what has changed between then and now? How did we go from being so captivated with a stat line like this to just casually brushing aside a similar season in just 7 years? But Westbrook's triple-double season in 2017 didn't just shatter our ideas of what were possible from an individual player. His season completely altered the way MVP voting works altogether. Up until Westbrook's 2017 season, the MVP award was virtually the best player on the best team award. If your team wasn't the first seed or on occasion the second seed going into the playoffs, your chances of winning the award were almost non-existent. From 1988 to 2016, 23 of 29 regular season MVPs went to players who led their team to the best record in their conference. 5 of the 29 MVPs went to players who earned the second seed, and only 1 went to a player who didn't lead their team to a top 2 seed. But with Westbrook's MVP in 2017, voters of the award, and fans in general, almost recalibrated the way they approached the discussion of who the most valuable player in the league can be and what is required of them. Because 4 of the last 7 MVPs finished the season with the 3rd seed or lower. This season, Jokic is favored to win the award, and the Nuggets are on pace to finishing the season with the 3rd seed as well. Something that only occurred once in 37 seasons and required the best player of all time to put up the best individual season of his career is about to happen for the 5th time in just 8 years. It's almost as if overnight we all realized that winning the most games is not the end-all be-all to what makes a player the most valuable. 10 years ago, an NBA fan posted this on Reddit, and reading it is almost like jumping into a time machine and traveling into the past. He goes on to list the last 30 MVP winners and the seed they earned going into the playoffs, recognizing the correlation between winning the most games and winning the MVP. And he posted this with a note at the end that tells you everything you need to know about how the award worked just 10 years ago. I put this on here so people hopefully stop making unlikely MVP predictions. No, Anthony Davis is not going to lead the Pelicans to the 5th seed and win MVP. And the comments on this thread are just as insightful as the post itself. So is it really an MVP award? In theory, yes, but maybe it's more of a best player on the best team. Players do not win MVPs getting 6th seeds, overwhelming majority of the time, because this is a superstar league and superstars get top seeds. And this fan is right, or at least he was 10 years ago. So why did we make exceptions for other players and continue to do so, but we hold Luka to such a strict standard? If the Mavs went on a nice stretch of wins to close out the season and finished with, let's say, 53 wins instead of 48, finished with the 4th seed instead of the 6th, would that really help Luka's case? The Mavs could have an easy schedule to close out the season. Kyrie could go on a tear. The team could get into a rhythm and earn a higher seed, and Luka could be playing at the same level he did all season. But since they're winning more games, none of which had anything to do with Luka playing better, he would miraculously have a better case for the MVP? I know this is how it works. This is the nature of this award. But it's still a bit odd that there is so much weight put into some factors when considering who the most valuable player in the league is. And the season Luka is having in particular is shining a massive light on this irrational way of going about this. Is Jason Tatum more valuable than Luka this season? You could make the argument, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who would, including the NBA's MVP leaderboard. And yet, Luka has been more valuable this season according to virtually every single metric other than win totals. Jason Tatum has missed 5 games this season, and in those games, the Celtics have outscored their opponents by 77 points. This season, Luka has missed 8 games, and in those games, the Mavericks have been outscored by 47 points. When Jason Tatum isn't on the court, the Celtics are plus 10.1 points per 100 possessions this season. When Luka isn't on the court, the Mavericks are minus 2.8 points per 100 possessions this season. When Tatum isn't on the court, the Celtics are still really good. When Luka isn't on the court, the Mavericks...
I forgot I was recording again. I was going stupid on nails too. But fuck, this nigga's exposing all this motherfucker, bro. This nigga is exposing shit. I'm thinking, I'm hungry right now. I'm hungry again. Had Chipotle. Maybe, should I get another burrito? But like DoorDash or something? Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Wednesday is the 3rd. Monday's not the 3rd. Shit. How you doing? Hold on. What the fuck did I just see? Let's continue watching Wild Words.
Mavericks are terrible. To look at how many wins a team has as the driving factor for the MVP race neglects how teams even got those wins and how much the best player on that team is contributing to those wins. Now, this season might actually be a case of the league getting a whole lot better, or maybe just the stats getting better, rather than voters and fans appreciating different aspects of the game and its players than they did in the past. The threshold for what it takes to make, let's say, an All-NBA team, earn the label of superstar, and win the league's MVP has been raised so high that a player could have a one-of-one, unprecedented season and not even get a mention as one of the league's best players. A great case of this is Domantas Sabonis, who is averaging 20 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists a game right now, and he wasn't even selected as an All-Star this season. These are not empty stats. He's not a product of the system he plays in. He is a certified star. But since there's a guy in the league who can do all of this and more, he ends up being unjustly labeled as the watered-down version of Nikola Jokic. It feels a bit surreal that we live in a time where a player like Luka Doncic exists, with numbers like these, and the MVP award isn't already boxed up and on the way to his house as we speak. And this realization is less about Luka and more about the big picture of the league right now.
Yeah, it's crazy that he's having one of the best seasons of all time. But it's not his fault he's not even in the MVP race like that. It's not his fault. It's nothing that he can do more to get in it. Like, those are insane numbers. There's nothing else he can do more. Now it's up to other people to decide whether his season is worthy enough for an MVP. When it actually really is. Are they going to give it to him? No, because his team isn't winning how they should be. But yeah, that's just crazy to think about. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's insanity. Like, I get everybody else, like, all them other seasons, how, like, it was like, damn, they won it. But this season, it's like, this nigga's having the best season of NBA fucking history. And he's not even in the MVP race like that. That's insane. Has this ever happened? I don't know if this ever happened, but this is bullshit. I don't remember this happening before, but I might be tripping. Because I did remember, like, hearing shit like, oh, this person, when I wasn't really in the NBA like that, like, into basketball, I used to hear, like, oh, this person got snubbed and shit. So I'm like, maybe it was a chance it happened. But I'm not sure.
Hard for me to wrap my mind around how much things have changed, and even harder to grasp how quickly they have changed. How can he be this good and still be trailing behind multiple other players? If it wasn't for Embiid getting hurt, Luka could very well not even be within the top 5 on the MVP leaderboard, while averaging nearly a 34-point triple-double and being on pace for 48 wins. Which begs the question, what would a player in Luka's position need to do to win the MVP? With the 6th seed and underwhelming supporting...
There's nothing he can do. There's nothing else Luka can do, bro. I mean, bro, what do you want him to do, bro? You want him to shit, hold on. You want him to be a part of the fucking Illuminati? Like, what do you want him to say? What do you want him to do? Let me put some notes. How you put notes in the add items, add promo code? How do you add notes in DoorDash? Like, notes like saying like, oh, I want sour cream. I want sour cream. Logical side-eye. I want sour cream. I want sour cream. What the fuck do I keep saying that shit for? Yo, like, how do I... Bro, I can't even say I want sour cream. This is bullshit. Let me see if I can add it. Add special. But I can't add special instructions. Yo, this is some bullshit. Bro, this is some bullshit. I can't add sour. Bro, this is some bullshit. Bro, DoorDash, count your fucking days, bitch. Count your fucking days. Fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck. Vegan. They got vegan black tea. I think that's what I just got. Oh my gosh. Fucking number. Fuck. I'm gonna just text him. Fuck it. I'm gonna just text him. I'm gonna just text him. Cause I want the red sauce. Whatever. I'll just tell them and they're gonna do it for me.
Cast and a handful of generational superstars to contend with. What would be the equivalent to the 2017 Westbrook triple-double season in 2024?
You know what's crazy? DoorDash, like when you pay for it now, it shows you how much money you saved. But realistically, if you really think about it, you're really not saving money. All they're doing is giving it to you for cheaper and you're spending money. But they try to do that and put it, like, as you're paying for it, it loads and says, as it's loading, it tells you how much you saved. They probably do that to, like, when you see it visually, it probably is like, you probably think like, oh my god, I just got $7, yay. But actuality, they're just selling it to you for cheaper, bro.
Where the numbers are just too absurd to ignore. 38, 10 and 10, maybe 40 points, 12 rebounds and 12 assists a night on league high efficiency. It sounds like hyperbole, but it's not. How good do you have to be to win the MVP in today's NBA? When you put the bar as high as Luka did at such a young age, how much higher would you need to go for it to be impossible for fans and voters to ignore your efforts? Or is the MVP award still just the best player on the best team award?
Jimmy High Roller said what he had to say, said his opinion. It was a good opinion. Gotta like the video. Let's check out the comments. I definitely think there's some bias against Luka. When the B scored 70, everyone in the media was waiting themselves. Then Luka scored 73. The media, like, this is disgusting. There's no defense in the league. That's valid. Man, I feel bad for Luka. Bro's the first person to experience voter fatigue before winning it. I don't know why they're doing this to him. Probably because no racist. But I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Probably because, what if it's, I don't know, because Jokic is damn near like Italian white. They're like ED. I don't know what he is. We'll say, I don't know. Maybe because he's from, not even overseas, because Jokic. Or maybe, yeah, probably because everybody has a favorite player. Like, I don't feel like Luka's anybody's favorite player. And then when they see Luka drop all these stats, they're like, damn, it don't look like the other team playing defense. And they get judged, they're like, damn, how come my player can't average? I don't know. I feel like it's just some weird shit. Like, Luka's just, I don't know. He's tough. Like, I promise you, 34 point, like, he's tough. I like watching him play, but like, majority of NBA fans, this is not their favorite players, bro. I'm telling you. He's fucking nice, like, and I didn't even realize I was just that biased until, no, I ain't gonna lie, I play NBA 2K, my league, or my NBA, so when I see him average that shit, he always went MVP, because every time I play 2K, I just noticed that every time I play 2K my league, he wins MVP, because 2K is not biased. But in actuality, in real life, He's putting up them numbers, and he's not getting MVPs, and that's insanity. That's insanity, bro. He put it up like what 3? He should have had 3 to 2 MVPs by now, bro. Look at his stats, bro. He should have had 3 or 2 MVPs by now, bro. He doesn't even have one. And he doesn't even look like he's gonna get one. It looks like he's not getting shit. It looks like they're gonna put him on the All NBA second team. If they put him on second team, they're disrespectful. And only time I agree with the Lucas Lander is when the All-Star game come. Don't put him in front of Steph. Don't make him start over Steph. Make Steph start over him. That's the only time I agree with this shit. But I don't agree with this shit. This is fucking ass. How everybody just blackballing my nigga from the industry. Let's look at a couple more. Luka moved up second, third on the MVP list since this was made. Thank you, Jimmy. The miracles. Also, he's won last night too. Dude didn't lose in a long streak. Nothing to do with Jimmy. Yeah, he's won a couple games. It's really not that deep. He moved up to second because he scored it. He's second in important advanced stats. Jokic is dominant every single advanced stat, and has his team over the 1 and 3rd in the West easily. Yeah. Okay, so look, that's probably why then. I don't think Luka's gonna win though. Let's keep it a buck. If Jokic is dominating on advanced stats, Luka don't have no chance to win. And we all know that. I feel like the playoffs are gonna have a little bit to do with it, just a little bit. Like, I feel like it's gonna have a little bit to do with it. You could say it doesn't, but I think it does have a little bit to do with it. I've been saying it for a few months. How great he is when everyone else is saying otherwise. I think it's the media too. I think it's the media. The media only wants to talk about shit that gives them numbers, like situations and shit, but they're not talking about great play. Like, they're not talking about the game, how Luka just is able to average that many points, rebounds, and assists. Like, they're not breaking down the game. They're talking about shit that can give them the most numbers. They don't. I mean, to me, what it looks like to me, these niggas don't give a fuck about the game, how they say they do. Only people I could say Shannon Sharp. He's been doing his thing in other genres or whatever you want to say, like the comedian space area. But when he does talk about sports, you can tell he does care. Mad Dog a little bit, but he be saying some outlandish shit. But you can tell he cares. Skip, nigga, we know that nigga just say anything for the fucking numbers. He doesn't give a fuck about sports. You can tell. Stephen A. He gives a fuck, but don't at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. And then the old dudes that have their own show, like the ones that be cussing and shit. And they like old, they're old black niggas. They're not old, but they're middle aged. Like they're 50 or 40 or something. Bro, they be spitting some real shit. They be talking about everybody, bro. Like they're not even just like sports analysts, but they be spitting. You can tell they give a fuck about what they know what they talk about. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can say they got some love for the game. But yeah, I'm done with my little rant. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you want to see next, and we're out. I'm high as fuck too. I'm a little high too, so I'm not fault for the rant. Alright, peace out. I get caught in your war of bliss. Is it too much if I ask for a kiss? Say we're friends, but I can't comprehend. If we are friends, then I want this to end. Tell me you're friendly, I cannot pretend. I want you to be more just